reading this made me think of a time in my life. Years ago, I was in a job, and there's a couple days we had to do some training for something, and so I was in the city in this community center, and we were doing these classes and all this stuff to get training for things, and we had a lunch break, and I was outside. It was summer. It was beautiful. Sun was shining. It was awesome, and I was sitting down just kind of by myself, and out of the blue, this lady walks, and I don't know where she came from. She just came out of nowhere, and she says, like, "Are you afraid to die?" I was like, that's interesting first question to ask a stranger. And God gave me, I believe God gave me words and wisdom in this moment. I just looked at her right in the face. I said, "I'm not afraid to die." And I began to open up and share as to why I wasn't. Because of Jesus, who died for me and gives me an opportunity to know that if I were to die in that very moment, I know where I'm going, and I'm going to heaven to be with him, and it's an amazing place if that so ever happens, and it's going to happen to me one day. And so I began sharing and talking with her, and I prayed with her. But it was amazing, as we were talking, I could see out of the corner of my eye, everybody else filing back into the community center because our break was over. And I had a decision to make in that moment. Am I going to do what was right in the world's eyes and say, I'm sorry, I have to go, and go back to be in the classroom? And in that moment, thank the Lord, I stayed. I said, I don't care what's happening in that community center. This is where God wants me. And I could tell, I could feel, it was a surreal moment. I felt like all of time just stopped. And it was this moment that God's like, "I want you to be right here." And I was faithful to doing that, and I'm so glad that I was. And this is the challenge that God gives to us in our life. Are we going to do what we think the world tells us to do? Well, no, you should be doing this, and you should be over here, or you should be doing that. Or are we going to choose the right godly thing in that moment? Say, "I know where God's presence is, and that's where I'm staying. This is what I want in my life."